and count it tomorrow. She's gonna be our liaison.
No,
So
they
you
have
call
to
it
have.
in the regular.
So they have to have. But she can do something.
And she can-
Whoever's the top vote leaders of the.
I didn't get
Because I
the
remember
pricing
even
guy yet
before
for
even board
the
minutes,
stuff
like,
we mentioned.
okay, everyone but like
Was it-
first, last place.
This
was
morning was
off.
like.
Well,
Okay.
it's, I can either do a not to abstain or,
Maureen
It
wanted
will be
to,
her.
yes, we gotta do it again. There's been
Okay,
so much-
do you want me to hand it out when you talk about it, or she does? I'll do that, that was my executive decision.
So we've got Pauline working out to these.
Yeah, she has 3 interviews
Three
scheduled.
names.
Yeah, I noticed the line card was reserved 3 times.
Okay, well, that's good.
Unless she's doing more than one on one, I don't know what she's doing, to be honest.
Well.
Take whatever you get.
So when I got her Friday night, I couldn't go to sleep, like I was so wired, and then my body was like aching. It's like standing on your feet too, and I couldn't. Sleep.
Piles all over the.
I'm getting
Well,
texts
you know,
from
when I-
1,000 people that have problems.
And hanging. Fill it out this weekend. Yes.
I did too, I haven't been taking it.
This is a meeting I had to, but you're right, I did Friday night. The good thing, my Friday, something out there. I didn't feel too bad anymore Sunday. On Sunday, I felt everything.
Any muscle in my body?
This is what you.
You know.
Keep the problems. That's how you see it.
Never coming.
I know. Excuse me, it's been a long time. I have 3 grandchildren and I'm exhausted.
All right, so I have on, stop time at 7:01. Are we good in the room to start? And I see we've got folks remotely, which is good. We just. waiting.
Right.
So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Lucy Robbins Wells Library Board of Trustees meeting for November 10th, 2025. Of course, this is Veterans Day Eve, so I just want to remind folks that if you see or know veterans tomorrow, thank them for their service and for our freedom. You know, we appreciate everything that they've done for us in the past and going forward, so I think they should be recognized if we see them. Thank you. And then with that, we'll move right into roll call. Elizabeth, if you would.
George Bernacco,
Here.
Kelly DeHaas,
Here,
Jason Hipp, Pam Canary,
Here.
Colleen Crook,
Here.
Iris Larson, Leanne Mankey,
Here.
Maureen O'Connor Lyons,
She's here.
She's on there.
Chris Riley,
Here.
Christine Shushin, Diane Sam,
Here.
Lisa Maston,
Here.
Karen Benner,
Here.
Sheila Rowell,
Here.
and Kim Rana. That's all.
Okay. So.
Hi. This is Maureen. Did you call my name?
We called your name and we have you marked as
Hello?
being here.
We saw you.
Oh, I'm here. I didn't hear my name. Okay. The sound is really wonky. I don't know if it's my end or if it's
How about the
everybody.
other folks that are online? Is the sound okay for you or no?
Sounds
It's
fine to
good
me.
for fine for George. You'll have to fuss with your system, Maureen. Or call in on the phone number if that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard Chris clearly. I think it's your voice.
My voice? I can project more, but then you'll see everybody else's hair
No.
rolling.
Just go on.
All right, I'll try it. Tell me if it doesn't, if you can't hear me. And
Okay.
my apologies to everyone else if I'm just seeming a little bit too loud tonight. Public participation. Do we have anybody online? No. Town council liaisons. Kim's not here. Kelly, I'll just announce it now. Tonight, Kelly is a board member. Tomorrow, Kelly is a town council person. So if we're confused, congratulations, on the election and going through that. But just in case people are confused with the timing and stuff, that's what's going on. And, we're hoping that she's staying involved, possibly as our liaison going forward. So I don't see Kim or anybody online, so we don't have a liaison online. But they have the election, so I'm sure everybody is taking a deep breath before they start their new year and their new responsibilities. We'll move on to Secretary's report, George Bonanno.
No report.
Thank you. Approval of minutes from last month. Any questions, changes?
I just had a few.
Go ahead, Chris.
On page 5 of the minutes, it talks about the facility and site that Lark has had a meeting on Thursday to vote on it. Lark will approve the quote. And the way it's written, it seems to make it indicate that it's an architecture and construction firm quote, but it was just the architect quote. There's a sense right before it talks about architect and construction firm, and then it talks about the quote. So it's just a little confusing.
It should be architect, not in construction.
Yeah, it should just be architect for the quote. When also there was, the meeting that we had with Michelle was not a joint meeting with the communications besides just the heads of the facility site and communications. As I said, I passed along the meeting information to the rest of the teams and talked about it at the facility and site communication meetings, but it wasn't a joint meeting between two committees. It was just
Okay.
me and George. And the only other thing that I had on there was page 6. For the joint meeting, the date was October 30th and not the 31st. They didn't meet on Halloween.
Get lots done then.
But
Magic in the air.
Good, but with all my kids' stuff and everything else, I don't think I could.
Great. I was sitting by the door fielding candy.
Other than that, that's it.
Okay. Anyone else have comments or corrections?
I'll make a
Wait,
motion.
Kelly has her hand up.
In
Go
the
ahead,
investment committee report, for the minutes, it says the transfers of the gains to the unrestricted account, it's transfers of income to the unrestricted account.
Okay, we've got that. Thank you. Elizabeth is typing away over here and nodding her head, so you can't see that. I can. All right, any other questions or clarifications? All right, then I'll go back over to Leanne.
I will make a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Christopher. And all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion carries. I'm looking online, because you have to watch my online people for me, please. I know I say that to you all the time, you do it all the time. Doesn't forget. Okay, the minutes are approved as amended. Review of the annual activities calendar for December. One thing is that we do have our Hanel, event on December 5th, and we'll talk more about it later and ask for signups, but just remember Friday, December 5th, is one of our Hanel events. We start talking about the 5K and sponsor levels.
Yeah, I'll have that stuff out by December 2nd, which is Giving Tuesday.
Great, so. Great, and we can talk about that later if we have to. Okay, and then do we have our new schedule for 2026 into?
No, he hasn't asked for it yet. It's too soon, but,
Yeah, I have it in December. It's still November,
yeah,
so,
it should be coming soon, yes.
okay. And then that'll go through.
And budget approaches.
They just sent out budget instructions
Oh, they
today.
did?
We just got the email.
And when's it due back?
I haven't even read them.
Okay.
So I wanted to savor the moment.
You mean the post walkthrough books as well before you go into the budget? What do you think? Okay, thank you. And that's really what I have, on the calendar, for us for December. Just a quick reminder, early programming. Remember, in January, we start our meetings earlier again to accommodate, the 5K race plan. So remember, we still start at 7. We need to get out at 8. Anybody else notice the timing on last month's?
Yes,
meeting?
that's very impressive, Diane. I think you can beat that.
I can name that too, man.
It's good better, so we'll see. No pressure, Leanne. Treasurer's report?
Okay. Hands raised.
Sorry, hands are raised.
I don't know if this is when I would bring it up, but should we be looking at replacing Anna at this point, sooner
Good
rather
point.
than
Mhm.
later?
Good point. I was gonna talk about, committee. Did you give me that stuff? You did. You gave it to me?
Oh, wait, this thing here?
Yes.
Sorry.
So we have a lot of changes on our board between, some resignations and some elections and things like that. So what I'm gonna ask folks to do, and it would be nice if you could, think about it and get it back to me, or think about it and call me next week, with what you'd like to do. I just want you to look at the committees, talk about what you're interested in. Some people that chair committees are gone, so it's good to look at that, and see what's happening and what's going on. We do, hopefully we'll have some new folks, you know, going to, the PES committee, but we'll assign them to other committees, when they join. So I'll just pass this around. You can ignore the president, vice president, because, the officers are in place unless they resign before the end of this year. But just go through and, you know, your first, second, third choice. And if you're,
It's not an
you
option.
can't, that was not a suggestion. But just go through, and if you're willing to chair or even co-chair a committee, let me know. Hanel, I know, Chris, you've been kind of setting up the schedule a little bit with Hanel, but, and Chris, you came up with a great idea. So Christine and.
Yes.
You guys have to sit on opposite sides of the table.
Sorry about that.
But Christine,
You
you've been
too.
doing the schedule, and Christopher, you came up with a great suggestion, so again, if we could send those around, and I'll send those out, to,
I'll get it,
George
I'll get it.
and Maureen.
I was gonna say, Diane, going along with the, and everything, is just making sure that we have nailed down all the accounts, IDs, passwords, whatever else we need to have information on, so that we know, you know, whoever's taking over can do what they need to do.
Right.
And in that regard, if you have been working with Anna in a particular context, like for example, the Network for Good, I'll use myself as an example. I have the passwords and I have the login, but I don't have the administrator data. So that if we wanted to change something, so if you have anything you've been working with Anna on in that regard, let's write it down so we can kind of come back to her and say, can you give us this stuff? Because you know yourself, when you have something, the security questions are like, where was your elementary school or whatever? Might be mine, but not Anna's, you know, so if you're working, I've been working with her on anything like that, let's try and put together one big list so we can kind of get it over to her if that's possible, or contact her direct, but let's make sure we're covered.
Well, and I almost think if we're gonna contact her, it would be good if we had it pulled together.
That's
Rather than have, you know, 4 different people call her and say, do you have this, do you have this, do you have this?
Yeah.
She's a busy lady.
No, that's what I'm trying to do is, and before it becomes something she loses in a file somewhere.
Oh, she's got them all.
I know.
Yeah.
They're all in order, trust me.
Okay.
All right, as to, are we treasurer now or are we still working on this?
Well, I think that was a good point from both of you. Thank you for bringing that up, because I meant to talk about it, for committee assignments. Any other thoughts on the, transition from some of Anna's responsibilities? Which, you know, was fund development and, she did a lot with the race. She did, she attended Hanel, you know, helped work with that stuff, so. A lot of things that we could use some help with. Many hands make light work. All right, now we'll go into the treasurer's report with Leah.
Okay, I sent it out for the October 31st balances. TD checking is at $89,553.23. We didn't have a lot of income and we did have some expenditures. including the Kingston, accounting fees. They were all filed now. The 990 is filed with the IRS, and our financial statements are available so they can be uploaded to the various charitable sites. The office, I believe, I can't remember, I think I sent it over to Carolyn for that file, but I'll have to double check. Other than that, we had a sleeper program and the HANA programs that were all expended in October as well. So, and a big purchase against the Hartford Foundation Public Giving Grant with Multi-Language Learners Program. The money market is at $55,313.21 of restricted funds. The unrestricted funds at Kingston is at $441,575.23. Kingston unrestricted and restricted investment is at $467,009.11. The Hanel endowment is at $467,706.91. As I mentioned, things have been filed with, so we are clear with the government for the next year. And the restricted, unrestricted are posted for here. We have a total of our value, if you will, is is $1,521,157.69 of all of our combined accounts. Plus the Margaret Hooker, which I don't count in that, which is at $437,103.97. And that's it for treasurer.
Thank you. Any questions for Leanne? No, online? No? Thank you, Leanne. Appreciate that. Library Director's Report, Lisa Maston.
Okay, Wednesday of this week, we're gonna have the interviews for the assistant director position. So we will keep you informed. That's all I'm gonna tell you about it.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's appropriate to name names and stuff on a public forum.
No, so anyway, the panel, we'll have a panel interview in the morning and then, we'll have a top candidate for that, and then they still have to interview with the town managers. The final interviews.
And do you, interview with other library directors for that position?
Yeah, we do.
So it's internal interviewers, external interviewers, but all library related, and then town manager as well.
Correct. Yes.
And
Correct.
do we have a timeline of when this will potentially be determined?
In the next couple of weeks, yeah. Because it would be nice to
Have an overlap.
To have a transition.
That's what I would like, to be able to do that, a little bit of an overlap, yeah. I think I'd mentioned in the past, we had received funding to replace our study carrels downstairs. They're like 40, almost 40 years old, the study. 37, okay, well, close. But there's a lot of problems with the electrical stuff, so these new study carrels will replace them, and they're very tech friendly, and they'll get new chairs that are comfortable to sit in for long periods of time, so that's gonna be happening over the next few months.
And that was with grant money?
It's with grant money, yes, yes. So we call it our milling mess, and that's what you see on Garfield Street and in our parking lots. They milled it actually today, so I'm not sure when they're paving the parking lot. We hope sooner than later, because it's very challenging with parking here. And also next week, the 20th, on the 20th, they're having the food distribution for Thanksgiving for families in Newington, and typically they use part of the library parking lot for the handing out the turkeys. So we're hoping that at least the Garfield lot and will be repaved by then. I'm not sure when they're supposed to pave Garfield Street, but
Thanksgiving is the, I guess you'd say the conventional time when tar is no longer.
right. So I know they're working hard to get
Depends on the
stuff done.
temperature, that's
Yeah.
what tomorrow's.
That's what I said, that's
one-off.
kind of like they shoot
Depends on the
for it.
temperature.
So we've had some really
Yeah, you do.
interesting or challenging behavior issues with teens again.
Hmm.
They're actually, I would say they're probably teens or they're tweens. To the point that we asked them they told them they couldn't come back for a month. And they did come back the next day. So then I talked to both sets of parents. And we have not seen them since, but it was the bad days were, when the kids got out of school early on Tuesdays. We had bad behavior. I mean, it was really like inappropriate behavior in the children's room that we had to ask them to leave, and then they didn't, and they get mouthy and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, we've been dealing with that. Staff has done a really good job, dealing with it, and also we're trying to work much better on communication between all the different desks. So if they're asked to leave the department, but not leave the library, that someone downstairs knows that they're coming down. And if they're asked to leave the library, everybody knows they were asked to leave. And we're actually telling them they have to leave the property, not just the building. So, but we haven't seen them since, so maybe, their parents got through to them. And then the last thing is, Baker and Taylor has been our book vendor. It's been as long as I've been here, but we were just looking, when did it, 1882? Yeah, something like that is when they started. They're going out of business. And they're the one, they've always been the largest book vendor for Connecticut libraries. So, they've had to, there's another vendor that we have used that everybody's using now, but they're trying to find other resources as well. They had a cyber attack in 2022 that really, did a number on them. And then, with the pandemic and sales down and all this stuff, they just couldn't make it. So they're closing by the end of the year, which is very sad.
That's a shame.
Yeah, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions for Lisa? All right. Assistant Director, Library Director's report, Karen Benner.
Hey, last month, we talked to you about, the circulation department and that we were looking to hire for library pages. We did hire one page. We actually made a couple of other offers, but those individuals had already gotten other positions. So we're gonna be going back out for that position. We also are posting for 2 library substitute positions in the circulation department. So we're gonna be doing that soon. I believe we talked to you about Kim Flaherty, who went from a 16-hour-a-week position in circulation to a 19-hour position. She started her new position, which, given those extra hours, has some added responsibility. So she started that on November 3rd. We've had someone in the circulation department who was out on medical leave, who's come back. We did talk about the grant for the hotspots, so we are getting ready to start hopefully ordering those soon. So that will be something that you no longer have to be responsible for. And lastly, the self-check upgrade, we have revisited that. We contacted the vendor and IT, so that project is going to be starting soon and ongoing, probably way past my tenure. And that's it.
Your month. Your remaining month.
Christopher, could you handle it till it's done?
Go ahead, Christopher.
I was just curious because I get the notices from the high school and stuff like that. I saw that they're looking for a position, especially for like a high school student.
Yes,
For what type of
library page.
library page? Okay, all right. I was wondering if it was related. I saw the message come through.
Yeah.
So.
Like, yeah, for shelving and, yeah, mostly shelving. Yeah.
That's good that you saw that.
Yeah, we're nice. There's this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get my little parents for notification, so it came up a couple times.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Karen? No, nothing online. Thank you, Karen. Friends of the Library, Sheila Round.
We had a
You're
busy
still awake.
We had a busy month. We had a write-up in the Newington Life. I'm sure everybody saw.
Yeah, you guys look
Nice
great.
picture, Sheila. Thank you. The quilt, and we talked about the quilt stuff and everything before. We did the quilt sale that are limited for the guilds, which was interesting. Didn't make a whole lot of money on that one. We brought it over to
To be honest with you.
they said that they didn't have the machines that match stuff.
Well, that's possible. And that's actually one of the problems I have. They have a Husqvarna and I have a Jane, so.
Yeah, it's that was, one of the issues, but we did have several people that came in enjoyed it. We brought it over to the book sale. You know, we had the book sale last weekend, which went on for quite a while.
Any feel for how that went? I know it's too quick to have all the accounting done.
Well, actually, what is the $15,107.85 is the most recent
That's gross,
thing
yeah.
that's gross, yeah, that we have. So everybody is pretty happy with that one. We have the craft fair coming up on the 22nd, and all of the stuff that we had for the quilting stuff, we're going to put up a table and see if we can sell it to those crafters. So we'll try that.
And the craft fair again is in this room on the.
It's actually
It's all
throughout
over the library.
It's throughout the
It's
library.
gonna be here,
We have a,
community, children's program, Lionheart here, and quiet study area,
I think we have what, 37?
40.
November
wow.
20.
22nd.
That's good.
Saturday.
I didn't realize there were that many.
It's,
Wow, that's a lot.
it is, yeah. We're beginning to start planning for the Winterfest. So we'll be up.
Aren't you selling tickets on the craft fair day?
Yeah.
So
Wait,
last time tickets sold out in 2
no,
days.
no,
So
they're selling raffle tickets.
Raffle tickets.
All the artists, or vendors are gonna they're donating a piece of their craft. And they're gonna have special drawings that day if you buy raffle tickets. No, the tickets December 1st.
Oh, December 1st, okay.
Winterfest
They usually
tickets.
go like in a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah, is that the gift wrapping day or something? Maybe that's where.
And then we have
No,
gift wrapping.
Hamel's the
And
5th. And the 7th.
And first is when they can get the tickets. What's the sixth? What is that?
That's the 6th and 7th, their friends are doing gift wrapping.
Oh,
For
the
the holidays.
Yes.
And are you still looking for donations for gift wrapping and stuff?
Yep,
Drop them
yep,
off at the library?
Absolutely. So that's about where we stand right now.
So no, great.
Are you all standing?
No, several of us not.
Thank you.
Well, we had wonderful help from the Boy Scouts and it went very smoothly.
Yeah.
Good. Good, thank you. Any questions for Sheila? No, looking online? No, great. Thank you. Committee reports, budget, so we understand that the budget is just been released.
The instructions were just released. Okay.
That's good, and that's usually due.
Usually
January
it's
1st?
due like, not
Third.
the second or like 3rd or 4th.
Okay. All right, any other information for budget there? Any?
No.
No, not at this point, okay. Sorry, Leanne, I should. I don't know if you do that, but. All right, PEP, planning, evaluation and policy, Polly?
Yes, we have, 3 names that have been, submitted, for, positions in the library. I contacted, Fred Google.
Okay, don't get full names.
Yeah, Fred, and Fred, will be coming in for an interview, Lionheart Room on the 20th at 6:30.
So is
November
this
20th.
November?
November 20th, 6:30.
Okay. We need you to, reach out to, the PEP committee.
Mhm.
And, maybe the officers or whatever, but, okay.
And the other 2 names, one is out of the country until November 17th. So I just left a message said that we weren't going to return because out of the country it's hard to get your
Yeah,
emails. And the 3rd name, I didn't have a phone number. I had found a phone number and it was out of service. So I'll check with. I think it is with Maureen.
What?
Yeah.
Pauline, are you,
Yeah.
my candidate or the name I submitted was Joanne Massey. She's the one who's in Greece.
Okay.
She's
So-
out of the country.
Melissa's the one you
Okay,
have.
I have
her.
So it's.
No names.
No names.
I'm sorry.
If you can give me the phone number, because the phone number that I had is out of service.
So folks, please just remember that this is recorded and publicized, so let's be careful about first and last names and locations and things like that. So that's why I'm not trying to be secretive, I'm just trying to protect, you know. It's hard to remember that we're being recorded, we think we're in a small room.
So I have, 6, dates, possible dates available. The room has been booked and whatever, and I gave them first choice. So.
Okay. So, you can get that out to the PEP folks and CC me on it and stuff. Appreciate it.
Okay. That's gonna be nice if we can get. Bring people in.
Pauline, this is Maureen. Who interviews? You said Fred is coming in on
It's that committee,
the whole committee.
the whole committee.
Okay, so you'll send
I noticed
an
that.
email or something.
So typically what happens is, PEP committee will interview and then they bring a name forward or the result of, you know, their recommendations based on the interview for what happens. And,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it's like, well, they were interested, but when they got more details, you know, they had scheduling conflicts or something, so. But if everything's a go, then we bring it forward and we get a brief description of the person, and then as the board as a whole votes to invite them to join. Okay. Anything else going on in PEP?
No.
Okay. All right, investment committee, Kelly, your swan song.
Well, then I'm glad it was a good October for us, and I really don't have any other updates for that.
Okay, thank you. We'll take it easy on you with your voice. Does anybody have a particular question for Kelly? She's fighting a cold, so. No, all right. Thank you. House committee, so thank you to Lisa, Karen, and Carolyn McLean. They did the walkthrough with Christine Shushin and I on Saturday. Happy to report that it wasn't actually raining when we were outside, even though it was kind of wet. And again, the library looks good. Our vendors are taking care of it. Staff does an excellent job with culling items that we have in storage and trying to keep up with all of that as it goes through. But, the fact of the matter is that the last renovation that was done on this library was 37 years ago. So when you look at things like our circulation desk, you may notice, Gorilla Glue or duct tape, or you might notice the top of the workstation, which is really, you know, we're okay putting some stuff on thinking that the renovation is coming, but I don't know if we really want to count the number of years that we've been thinking that the renovation is coming, so. There are some items, and I don't have the spreadsheet now, the walkthrough was this Saturday, and Carolyn, you know, will put that together with us and do some work orders and stuff for things that the town would help us with. But there are items that will have to be addressed. So talk things about the circulation desk, right? There is a place where the books come in and out all the time and back and forth and what have you. It's cracked, it's rolling, it's going through. That's not something that, you know, a roll of duct tape or, you know, anything else is gonna work. So I think we need to begin to realize that the renovation is not happening around the corner. We're not packing everything up to go to a temporary location while they knock this down and do it this year, right? So with that in mind, we looked a little bit more closely with things that had to be done. The stairwell as you go up, the wallpaper that's there, the 37-year-old wallpaper is hurting. It's coming apart in places, it's damaged in other places as we go through. So that's something that as house committee we'll have to try to figure out how to address that. Do we strip it? Do we paint it? What does it cost? Who does that? How do we work with facilities on that? And things like that as they go through. So we had a whole bunch of things as we went through. There were other little items that you'll see, like the teen seating needs to be updated. The cushions on it are just worn. The curtains. The curtains are in process, but the one request that, we're gonna make is that facilities removes any of the old curtains that are here. So Leanne, if you need to get measurements on the other ones, are we assuming they're all standard?
I have to go over there because there's no guarantee they're the same. These are almost done.
Great, okay.
So but I had the brackets for these. I think the brackets were already taken down on those, aren't they?
No.
They're still hanging.
Okay, good, because
They're still hanging,
If
but
there's a
those-
similar situation, we can reuse them because they're wood. And that works very well.
Okay, so, we need to coordinate the removal of, those other curtains because they are ragged and dusty and soon they won't be hanging and it won't be anything that we did.
Well, I can tell you that I had a garbage bag with these two in, and it's literally disintegrated in the
Right,
bottom.
That's what,
of the-
yeah,
And
it's
the-
not a
they're
good day.
disintegrated, they're disintegrated up there, so we can't wait to, I think we have to take them down. They're just,
Okay.
they're bad throughout the whole thing, so you're gonna have to coordinate if we think that we need to know the exact measurements or reuse those things, we're gonna.
All right. Let me, I'm gonna have to work with Joe anyway, because facilities has to put these back in, not Dave.
Right,
Facilities.
right.
So I'll talk to him about that.
Yeah, and then, here's a good note. So, I told you that they were culling a lot of things that we've had in storage, moving things around and what have you, and we think that there is a way to get a 5-drawer file cabinet down in the basement for board stuff.
Really?
Really?
Where is that going?
So when you go out the elevator, you know where the emergency stairwell is up, there's a little section beyond that that we think we can tuck it in and pull that out. So we'll be spending some of our money on a new file cabinet. One of the other things, we have some small things. And again, the walkthrough was just Saturday, so I don't have all the pricing on it, but I was looking to get the storage cabinet, one of the children's rugs, you know, that, not the permanent rugs that we have, but the rugs that we put over.
Sorry.
Is very sad looking, so, I was hoping to get a price for that, I don't have it yet. And then the teen seating, those seats,
There was a whiteboard in the
Oh, yeah.
study room.
and then, whiteboard in study room 3, the middle of the whiteboard is just behind, so like if you thought of it like your car, it's got a chip in the paint kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, we're looking at, getting that done. Unfortunately, I don't know what that would cost at this point. Does anybody have an objection to some of the, I mean, they're relatively minor, we'll have to investigate. If I can get the pricing quickly, I'll send out an email. Otherwise, it'll be in the December meeting, asking for a not to exceed amount.
Is the board gonna pay for the seating, or do you want to find other funding for that, the replacement of the vinyl?
If there's other funding that can be had, we like that because,
That's fine.
next
We're
up,
gonna have
do we have the pictures? We do. So we did a walk through in the front and the outside. This is, what our Churchill door looked like in November of 2024. And now I have some up close pictures of what they look like on Saturday. So the finial on the top cornice is gone. It's actually, I think, in Lisa's office.
Yeah,
It's
it's in
somewhere.
our
It's in
office.
Lisa's office. You can see that it's no longer up straight. It's kind of curving. And then where the doors, sit on the slab there, you can see that it's all, corroded and falling apart and just crumbling.
We've had 3 contractors look at it and they all concur. It's not a case of paint and
Yeah, it's
On.
beyond paint, and you can tell that when you see it in person, even the pictures don't do it justice when you see it in person, it's pretty scary. And, we have been working, with some contractors to get pricing on it, and also, possibility of looking for getting, maybe some grant money, because this is going to be expensive. So if we can find grant money for this, that would be great. If we could find grant money for seating, that would be good too, because this is an estimate. of what it
right
is.
now, if you look at the expense budget that I brought to you in September, we're looking at about $55,000 to restore. Because if you look, see all those those little pieces, it all has to be separately milled. And a lot of these whole pieces have to be replaced entirely by wood. Because we're on the National Register, we cannot go to plastic molding. It has to be wood. So we're dealing with a specialized woodworking. And the other thing behind it, which is something you don't see, but it's actually a big cost, is the flashing.
Yeah.
That is behind, that mounts it to the facade, because that's only a facade.
But we gotta get going on this so that.
Or it's gonna fall off
someday
in
it's
front
not-
of.
What I would just suggest, because I think this Thursday is when we have our next grant meeting scheduled, so maybe we would bring this up as the top thing to start with and see what we can start proceeding with that
Well,
versus.
and I think we should need to have to take a two-pronged thing. We've been looking at this for over
Yeah.
6 months in terms of getting pricing and trying
Yeah.
to do grants. I think we have to do is proceed with grants, but also get on their schedule for spring, because it's gonna have another
Yeah.
winter and it's not gonna get any better.
Well, that difference, can you scroll back to the other picture? That deterioration was from last year November's walkthrough to this year's November walkthrough. It's going fast. Yes,
What about covering it just to protect what's there?
I can talk, Joe Salomon has been extremely helpful on
Yeah.
this. We can talk to him
town
about
design.
this. And I think that would be wise, but we do need to, kind of decide what we're going to do. Even if we're not getting the funding, I think it's not gonna fall back we've talked to Joe and about potentially building it into, the maintenance budget. It's just not gonna be part of it. So either we're going to do it or it's going to continue deteriorating. They might have some monies, but there's no commitment at all to that. So I think we have to allow for the fact to get onto their schedules, because this is gonna be about an 8-week project when they really start rolling, and that's assuming, everything works well. But we can talk to, facilities about the protection aspect of it.
so let's talk to facilities about protection. Let's talk to Sonia about getting the grant. And, let's talk to our, vendors about the fact that it has to be wood and get those. quotes.
We have the quotes that are older now, they're a few months old, but, Joe has offered to work with us to pin down to make sure we're getting everything we need done,
Okay.
which.
So, do you think we would have the information in December for a vote with the money amount to go forward, or?
I don't know,
Probably wouldn't have-
we might have to do a not to exceed.
Okay, or January? Cause I'm thinking
Yeah, we
with
can
grant
put that,
money maybe factored in.
yeah.
Cause we need to know what the bill is to get the grants, they don't like to.
Well, we have a quote that we've been operating with for the grants, and that is sufficient for the grants at this point. The problem is that, as you said, it's continually, you could have more falling off the front of the building. But what we carried was the highest
Okay,
quote.
alright, so that would be our goal, is to focus on that in the grant meeting and focus on that with facilities and stuff to make sure that we're in place to have it being manufactured, this spring. Is there anybody that has, concern about the pricing or the project or anything at this point?
Oh, I just think it should be covered to protect it.
That's a good idea.
that-
More immediate thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure, and then proceed to her everything else.
Okay, super, good suggestion, thank you.
I'll talk to Joe.
So that was it. Then the other things, the outdoor, there's dead limbs hanging in the tree there. These are all things that will be in work orders with the town to do. The trimming of the arborvitaes, we have to stay on top of that, because the arborvitaes that are close to our emergency exits are a different species than the ones that went in originally. The ones that went in originally are smaller, slower growing, and you can tell that if you walk back there. And the ones, of course, by the emergency door are if you don't trim them, twice a year, we're not gonna be able to get out of those doors. So, things like that will go on that list, and we'll have the full list, for our next meeting. So that's kind of, I was gonna say a brief overview, but I guess it wasn't too brief. Those were the highlights of, the walkthrough as it went there. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Anybody online have questions or comments? No. Okay, thank you. Facility and site, Christopher Riley.
All right, so we've been busy as usual, just having various meetings, trying to get stuff done. We're reviewing options that were provided by the architects and the construction firm. And it was also the town council wanted us to be able to provide options based off of what they had seen. So we've been working with the firms to try to come up with some options from there. Excuse me. George and I have had a couple of meetings in October and early November with Michelle
Pat, no.
Had note, okay, I wanna make sure I pronounce it right. Lisa's been part of those meetings as well. Just to discuss online video to promote the library. We were trying to discuss, a longer form video if someone wants to go on. Find, be able to hear, what patrons say they like about the library, what they wanna see in the library. And kind of also be able to present a little bit of, okay, well, this is what we are imagining for the reimagined library event as well. But we've also been discussing about having like little 30 to 60 second videos. That would be online, kind of almost like did you know type things to kind of promote all the services that the library currently has. As well as, just at least kind of start grabbing people and starting in the community thinking about what the library currently provides, because a lot of people may still just think, we're just close, so want to kind of get that message out. We also had on October 23rd, we had a LARC meeting, that we approved the proposal that the architect had sent, for their services. So that's, been going through in process, for finance, for that. And the next meeting is currently scheduled for January, but that doesn't preclude us from having special ones before then. Because I know, one of the things that was discussed before with town council was, I think they wanted a presentation, once again, early in the year, prior to budgets, when they, get all under budgets. To possibly present like the options and kind of an updated presentation from what we had, so, there's potential we may have more meetings for that. On October 30th, we had the facility site, communication joint meeting again. We discussed various places where we were gonna communicate the message to. And we assigned members to start initial conversations. I know, Leah and I have written, you were with the senior center. I've reached out to the Chamber of Commerce, as well, just to kind of get the conversation going as to, where's the appropriate place for us to start talking. And just, trying to hit a few areas to start, some of the, I'll say, bigger impact, and then work through all the other organizations that we had on our list. And we continue to receive suggestions from patrons. Lisa keeps forwarding them to me. I've been trying to organize them by category. Because as I said, in some cases, there are ones that, come up over and over again. I think I've seen teen section a few times, and, children's areas, seems to be two, big ones that keep coming up, but, there's other ideas that, I've just been kind of trying to collect them, and I've been trying to communicate them as best I can, to the team. I mean, I can send out, my spreadsheet if anyone wants them from this meeting, but that's what I have for facility and sites, so just continue chugging along, so.
Great, thank you. I know there's been a lot of work done that way. And then the only thing I'm gonna say is, even after I said, no last names, we have two Michelles on staff that we work with an awful lot, so it helps to at least once or twice when we're talking about
Yeah.
a new Michelle to give the first and last name. At one point, we had two Lisas on the board. One was a board member, one was our director. So it gets confusing, especially if you're reading the transcript. If you don't know who's saying what or
No.
who we're referring to, so just keep that in mind. But thank you. I know that you and the other folks on those committees have been doing a lot of work, so it's nice to have that going on. Fund development is one of those items that Anna used to do. So hopefully when you're looking at the committees and stuff, if you thinking about it or know what you want, and on the back of it, the descriptions are kind of on the back of the page if you want to have an idea of the guidelines for what happens or what we're doing now.
Can I just add something to that?
Yes.
With the Giving Tuesday,
So that would be Pam, who's doing Giving Tuesday?
right, no, but what I was gonna say is more just that we usually put something on the website, and also we can have Michelle Patno put something out to remind people about the library for Giving Tuesday, since it's coming up so fast, because it's
And
December
does she
2nd.
link them or? show
Yeah, we
them
link them to
Legacy
the-
And the donate
We,
part of the
yeah,
website?
yes, we can link them to whoever we want to link them, or directly to the Network for Good if they want to make a
Okay.
donation. Like we've done in the past.
Yeah, good.
Because I think it should go up soon.
Okay.
I do have one thing on that. I kind of went on the website and looked under fund we have a section that, worked very hard on regarding how people could potentially give money, whether it would say, as a beneficiary legacy, it's a whole under legacy. And I was looking for it because obviously tax laws changes and everything else. The only thing, and it's really quite good from an accounting standpoint and investment standpoint. I would suggest that, at our next meeting with, Kingston, we just have Dean make sure that we are up to date on that, because it's very, very good. She did some incredible.
And I do think that she, recently updated it.
She did.
In the last year. I think she spent, she worked with Dean and some stuff, but it doesn't hurt to just say,
Well,
to give it a quick look.
Well, the only reason I know, tax laws changes, every year. So,
The other thing that she did, for the Legacy Society and stuff was, she would write a letter to put in the footnotes a couple of times a year and stuff like that. So, that would be something that would be good to remind people of, or what's out there. Or we can recycle some of the letters that we have, but, she was a great idea person, and she could come up with new ideas and new letters to keep things fresh. So, that's the kind of thing that, one of the other things that I think we're looking to try to capitalize on stuff, so. If you're feeling at all creative.
there's a lot of it already in place. That was my point.
Yes,
You don't have to go back and reinvent the wheel.
right, it's kind of keeping up with it and keeping it fresh. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly, I saw your hand up before and I was gonna come back to you. Did we blow past it?
No, I do remember Anna working with Dean on the phrasing for the giving.
Okay. Thank you. Nominations, it says Maureen, but I'm gonna skip over it because there's really nothing for nominations at this point. I'll go into communications with George Bernacco.
Yeah, I think Chris covered a lot. We had those two joint meetings, or not joint meetings. We met jointly with Michelle Patnode and talked about the video. And then we had a joint meeting, community meeting on October 30th regarding outreach to the community. So we kind of developed, I believe, 5 groups total. We said we want to do some outreach to veterans, to the teenagers, parents, some of the elderly patrons, and I'm trying to remember the 4th one. I don't know if can remember that, but or the 5th one, the last one. But those are kind of the major groups we were talking about, providing outreach, and we kind of coordinated who would go and talk to those groups. But yeah, that was the extent of my update.
Any questions or suggestions for George in communications?
They mentioned, we mentioned, the business, the chamber, but also the VA.
The chamber, yes. Yeah, the VA. The chamber was the last one, yeah, and then the VA, yeah, the veterans. Yeah. That's it.
And also, I think, Colleen brought up a historical society as well.
Yes, that's right. So six major groups we can outreach to. Thank you, Chris and Lisa.
Okay. Any other questions or thoughts on them? No? All right. Old business, panel, we have Jukebox 45 coming on Friday, December 5th. Doors open at 6:30, concert starts at 7. We need people to help set up, so set up folks come at what time? 4:30? 4:30.
Like before we start getting stuff ready, 4:30, we can actually start moving it.
Okay, so no later than 4:30 if you're gonna do the pre-setup. The doors open at 6:30. You do have just a few moments in between usually to regroup and stay if you're gonna enjoy the concert. And then set up, usually, do we know? Do you have the contract memorized? Do we know?
I do
how
have
long
it memorized, an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half, okay. So 7 to 8:30, so then we try to.
Take a half hour break.
So then we try to hustle them out afterwards, so we can put the library back to being a library instead of a concert hall. So, anybody that knows that they're available for first thing, Kelly, I see your hand up again. Oh, she's not volunteering for that, okay.
Oh, and I'll be there.
Great. I love it when we have a few adorable library patrons outside the door waving at us, so I'm waving back. You're wondering what's going on.
I'll check my calendar too and everything like that, see if I can help with
Yeah, I
the setup.
have to work.
Do that.
Haven't gotten as far as December yet.
Yeah. Okay. It depends how, I can't move my hands right now, so. We'll do that.
Okay, I'll get here as early as I can. I'll try to block off the time that works and I'll just have to commit to that. Thank you. I know people enjoy it and, the last town, there was a fellow from another library down in the southern, part of the state, but it was a very small town and I'm forgetting the name of the town right now. But he was so excited to hear about the library and see what we were doing and he wanted to look at things because they're doing a renovation for $10 million, but I think the renovation is the size of our community room. So it's a very teeny tiny little adjunct library or whatever, but he was so happy to see some of the historical things that we had around, whether it be the grandfather clock, the facade of the old building and stuff like that. He was very turned on with that, getting lots of ideas, much like we do when we go visit other libraries. Okay, I know we have Chris's suggestion for another handle, and that seemed to be very popular, for the comic book.
Yeah, basically, as I said, it was a long road to find them and everything, but I go to the free comic book day and got a free graphic novel from this, band because they misprinted an edition, so they were giving it out to the comic book store owner to give out. And the graphic novel is just basically their true story. They did it in graphic novel form of, they performed in all 50 states within like, I wanna say a month or so and everything like that. I'm trying to remember. I'd have to look and see and everything. They didn't set Guinness World Records because Guinness has all these restrictions, so you gotta have this, you gotta have this, and have this, and they're a small band, so they couldn't afford a lot of that stuff, so. I reached out to them and said how much I enjoyed the novel, and I said, oh, by the way, library has, these cultural events every year, so this sounds like, because what they do is, they have one guy who sings and performs on piano, and the girl, paints during the performance as well. And usually they handle a silent auction during these events too, so they auction off the painting at the end of the performance. And so I thought, well, art, music, that's cultural. So when I reached out to them and everything like that, very enthusiastic. As I said, I went on their website. If you go on their website, I looked at their summer tour. Their summer tour actually included 2 public libraries. So I figured they were already.
What kind of music is it?
It's
I listened to it.
it's hard to describe. I've listened to it. I'm not sure what style I would say it
We're
is.
looking for good music.
No, it was good. I enjoyed what they
Who is it
had.
going to appeal?
Okay, so
It's gonna probably.
it's not the same group that's gonna
That's
be
what-
coming to our next panel. It is for teens, I would say, high
Okay.
school,
Young
teens,
adults.
young adults,
That's
people
good.
that are
That's a good focus.
interested in
That type of.
So we're
music.
gonna.
I mean, it's,
other, that kind of stuff. I mean, so people that are into manga, people that are into new
There's an
wave
audience there.
rock. I mean, it's much different, and I think we need to open it up to that, because, if you come to that, you know who
Yeah,
comes.
no, I.
So.
My question is, how do you market it? Because we're gonna have to tell people that this, what is the, they don't know, is it popular, is it rock, I know I'd hate to put it in a box, but we'd have to tell people what kind of music.
I can certainly also ask them what kind of style they consider themselves too, because I
I
really
mean,
kind of
if
get
it's-
their feel on it,
Right.
rather than me trying to come up
And
with.
does their website advertise whatever, say?
I mean, it has links to the music and everything like that. I can see if they have any descriptions on there. If not, I mean, the person.
Can you ask them how they
What are
publicize
the other
themselves?
libraries, what they did? to advertise?
I will.
It's like a new wave rock is really what it is.
When
Okay.
they did the artwork, was it in conjunction with whatever they were singing about?
Well, see, the artwork I was, when I did look at it, and I think that was when they were doing the graphic novels, how I found out what they do, the artwork. And that was in conjunction because they would paint something specific to that state, like the state bird or something like that and everything. I don't know what the art now and everything like that, but I think it's probably inspired by it, I
We
guess.
saw Andrea Bocelli and there was an artist there
Yeah.
painting him as he was
Okay.
singing,
Oh,
so
wow.
it's,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure the music's not the same, but it's. Yeah.
And the other thing too, just
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
And is it something that we would do all in one night
Well,
There were
that's the thing is this, I
or
talked,
split it up?
I talked to them, I think they're open to split up because they're based in in Connecticut, so it's not like, they said they're like an hour away. So, because the other thing they offered too was a workshop for comic book.
I think that's awesome.
See, I always think we ought to do the workshop first, and then the people who come to the workshop or have heard about the workshop will come to the concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just I mean,
We could work
That's
out.
logical. Maureen, your hand is up?
Yeah, I think that the advertising for this event, should we, decide to go with them, we'd have to work very closely with them to make sure we get the correct information out to the right audience. Because let's face it, the audience that we have today for the bulk of our events
Mhm.
would probably not be interested in this.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So we can't just say we're having an art and music, graphic and music combined program. It has to be very, very specific. So this would be one case where I think we'd really have to work closely with the artists and musicians, not just getting a little written biographical blurb.
first thing that occurs to me is the arts department at the high school.
Yeah.
That's the
I was
age
just
you're
gonna
trying
say
to
that.
target. You get the music and the art
Mhm.
and
Also maybe Central.
central as well.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but-
also I was just thinking if you did, like, if Michelle did stuff, you could use their music in the background, right? Or,
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure that there's folks out there that are familiar with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so, we wanna keep moving forward on that, trying to figure out, what's happening and.
But we have to target, in a sense,
Can I-
target the audience.
Right,
we also have our teen librarians into comic stuff, really.
right,
Sarah.
that's great.
So she might have a whole nother group
Right.
of people that she could.
That would, the art league
Yeah.
specifically, send a blurb, to them, as you were saying, any of the comic folks that we know with the teen librarians, maybe, to Central, maybe to some of the other things like that. So that would be great, and it is good to, change up the venue sources, so, we can call it the Hanel event. And,
As I
Then advertise
said,
what it is.
he's been pretty responsive and everything to my emails and everything like that. Seems pretty excited, and he also understands, he says, the budgeting of, various places too, so he's, when he approached me with the fee too, he's like, okay, yeah, I understand it's a library, so, he's, so they're used to playing small venues. So.
discounted appropriately. Okay, all right, thank you, that's great.
Yep.
Newington Afghans, do we have
I
much?
haven't done anything
Okay.
with it.
So
That's something
going
that I think we own that copyright. If we're gonna do something as we're going forward, we just can't put it off till, okay, we wanna sell them next week, cause that's not gonna happen.
But I don't think we have any more information on it. Open board positions, we know we have some open, we have some interviews coming up, so that's, great news to come through from that end. It'll be interesting to see how that, pans out. Thank you, Pauline, for reaching out to them and at least letting them know that we are interested in interviewing and getting folks. to come in.
Diane, can you reiterate the positions we have open, please?
So as of tomorrow, we'll have 2 Republican town appointees. Right? And we have 3, let's see. 3
Yes.
3 corporate open.
3 corporate.
Probably a 4th to come soon. 3 corporate and 2 Republican town committees.
4.
Democrats are all full, right?
Yeah. Okay,
So
so.
Kelly, are you on the Republican Town Committee? So just to add to your list of things to do, start plugging us.
I've been mentioning it, and actually I was gonna reach out to somebody in a minute and see if they might be interested. So
Nice.
Super, thank you. Okay, new business, is there any other new business?
And
Lisa?
I just wanted to mention, because I know Diane knows, but Ron Tramadio is resigning from the race committee.
Oh, no.
Oh. Ron Tramadio. So that's a huge loss.
He does a lot.
He's been doing it many, many years and he's just tired, you know.
Oh, could we say like since the beginning?
Yeah, so, he has, he would meet with us, Chris, and stuff like that too, about, some of the stuff you guys did together. And we can put together a written list, but he did a lot of work.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking to get that early morning support, but also, you know, he would walk around with the flyers, he would reach out to the different
The
county
police
department, make sure we
department,
have the
yeah, all
power
the
and the police
departments.
coverage and stuff
Yeah.
like that, so.
And a
We're gonna have,
special relationship with the town because he was a town employee.
yes, yes. So, anyway, again, those are things that are gonna have to, find another key person to,
Is that effective before the next race or?
Yes. Yes. I just think, I think the last race was just a lot, you know,
Yeah.
but physically. it's a
to
lot.
try for, yeah. He did a lot of physical work on race day,
He did.
as Chris well knows.
Whatever we did.
Okay, public participation, do we have anybody online for public participation?
We do not.
We do not. Okay. We're at that point of the evening where I would ask for a motion to adjourn unless somebody else has.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion, and George second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Good luck, Kelly.
Thank
Remember
you.
to handle-
Congratulations again, Diane.
Thank you. That congratulation is for getting it done close to an hour. And that can only happen when everybody has their stuff to report. So thank you, everybody.